Okay, so here's our first actual, well, our only actual Dreamweaver assignment. This is going to be the canvas landscape. It's still HTML coding, so we're just using what we already learned in our rectangles and triangles exercise and the other stuff that we learned. And I'm going to add to it today with a few extra different types of code. And then you are going to create your own landscape. This will be due Tuesday, September 22nd, so that's a little bit longer than I normally give, but it's because we're going to be doing it over online instead, because that's going to make things a little bit more complicated. And I want to give you guys a little bit extra time to be able to handle it. So, using Dreamweaver and the coding tools we learned in class, create a scenic landscape. You can create any imagery that you would like, but your final image must contain at least one house, one flower, one living creature, one cloud, and one sun. So obviously these are going to look kind of like kindergarten drawings. They're not going to be paintings or photorealistic landscapes by any means. I'm not expecting anything incredibly complicated here. So a house is a rectangle with a triangle on top. A flower is a circle with some petals, which we're going to learn today about how to use quadratic curves and Bezier curves to make things like that. Clouds and sun, obviously going to be curved lines. Very simple stuff. So very simple drawing anyway. We're going to learn the code about how to accomplish all that stuff today. And then the deliverables will be the .html file that you will send to me that will have your finished landscape in it. Your image must have at least one of each of the following shapes or curves listed below, and each item must be created start to finish by you. So that means essentially not copying and pasting from my notes or from other people's work. A line, a rectangle, triangle, a circle, a quadratic curve, a Bezier curve, and a linear gradient. The last four are what we're going to learn today. And then, just like this last assignment, this last exercise, to begin your project, copy and paste only what is below this line of text. Now, one thing that I've noticed, the issue that I found the other day, if you copy this in and you get a bunch of red dots everywhere, and then you find that when you create lines in between here, they're really large. If it gives you any kind of problems at all, it may be because you're opening this text up inside of Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word does something to the text, and then when it translates it over to Dreamweaver, it kind of screws it up. So I would recommend not opening it up in Microsoft Word, opening it up in some other text-based program, and then copying and pasting from there. Okay. In addition to that, we're going to have what I call Day 2 notes. We already had Day 1 notes, and those are on Blackboard. These are on Blackboard as well, in the same spot, as well as the assignment that I just read off to you. So both of those are in the course content folder. Okay. On Day 2 notes, you can see we're going to learn essentially 4 different things today. One of them is basically the same thing, but a extended version. So just 4 different things: circles or arcs. Right. A circle is just a completed arc, a full arc. Quadratic curves, Bezier curves, and then the linear gradient. So these are a little bit complicated, as you can see. I'm going to explain all this stuff, but it's just these 4 things. So go grab the assignment and Day 2 notes from the Blackboard, and then the next video will have the tutorial for all these chunks of code and how to execute them correctly.